Welcome to an incomplete guide to personal growth. We invite you to take a breath and take a listen to our podcast that explores the wonder, humor, challenges, and sometimes those self-inflicted wounds on a journey of personal growth.
Our weekly podcast conversations include stories, resources, and tools that you can incorporate into your daily life. We're the mother-daughter duo of Sydney
and Kelly. Hello, Sydney.
Hello, Mom.
It's an October day, but it feels like September, so it's so hot. You know, we live in a climate where...
We live in a climate. It's like for Halloween, you don't know if you're going to be... You have to like have options.
Yes.
For it to be warm and cold,
right.
You know, at the same time.
But usually it's warm.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. You said you had an old lady moment.
I had a moment that I just felt like an old lady. Because I was walking, today I decided I ran yesterday, so today I was like, I need to get out, but I'm just going to walk.
Yeah.
And I'm going to walk. And so I was walking, and there's this one curve that I'm always aware of where people go. And there was this one car, the speed limit's 30 in our little neighborhood. And you can always tell when people are going a lot faster. And this one car was just going faster. And all of a sudden, my hand was out, and I'm like doing the slow down motion. And I thought, where'd that come from? And the guy honks his horn. He's way past me, but I hear him, you know. But I thought it was so funny. I was just like, oh my gosh, I just did that.
That is so funny.
And I was saying, he wasn't over the line. Like a lot of times we have a golf cart lane and they'll drive in it. But he was, and it was so funny. I thought, before I even caught myself.
You did it.
I did it. And I thought,
You've
Kelly.
reached that age, I guess.
You did. It felt so
scary.
Weird. It did. I
don't even.
Isn't that funny? I
don't think I could ever bring myself to do it.
Well, wait till you do. Potentially with Charles, you could.
Potentially with Charles.
And I get going over the speed limit. You can tell when somebody's going 5 miles over. But they were going a lot over. And we've got school buses and we've got kids in there.
Yeah.
And it was like, slow down, dude. And
if you're rushing.
And I don't want to say it was a teenager. I couldn't tell. But it was.
No. That's funny. I don't know. If
people always gripe on next door and they'll take pictures of the car in front of them or the one that passed them. And I'm like, oh, don't shame.
Yeah. If it was Charles, I think I'd do another.
You'd do it.
Symbol.
Instead. Whoa, yeah.
That would be my mama there coming out.
It's just like we're So.
Oh my gosh, old lady. That's so funny.
I know. It felt really weird.
So funny. Okay. So this week, we're talking about comparing.
Yeah. Yes. Comparing ourselves with others and society as a whole, really.
So, so when we talk about comparing ourselves, it's like, it could be material, it could be success, it could, or whatever that definition is, it could be, just like something somebody else has, or
my
quality
hair,
somebody else has, or
it could be. I mean, we just all kinds of things,
all kinds of comparisons.
Yeah.
So, because you sent me an article or something, and I do think, because as I think just from the from the music field, I mean sometimes comparisons are okay, because you have to have a standard. You know, if I walk up and I'm playing my Bach fugue and I mess up, this whole run, or I forget a part, or I repeat it, whatever, like, that's not good. Like, it just objectively, it is not good. It's not to the standard that is set to perform and, be at the, and so it's like, whenever it comes to like comparing, it can help you, I feel like, identify some of your shortfalls in a more data-driven way. Like if I'm practicing a piece and I hear somebody play, that part was way clearer than I've ever played it. Okay, I need to think about what techniques I need to do so that my can sound kind of similar, because that's more in the style. Or is it, like comparison in that way can be okay. And that's also how you get, this is professional level, this is middle school level. It's just like, I think there are some ways, and I think at work sometimes, not that you should compare yourselves to coworkers all the times, but like, there are objective ways to make comparisons in certain
Correct.
areas. And I don't necessarily want to be like, oh, comparison is bad. Like you are your own unique person all the time.
Yeah.
There are
There's
some things that
times
are
where
good
it's-
and not good, not as good.
Right.
You know?
That makes a lot of sense. That does. And that is a way of comparing where you're looking, like you use the term objectively,
Yes.
versus, oh, I really stink compared
And bringing
to
yourself
them.
down. Yeah.
Versus, oh, I hear how that is played and the technique, and
Yeah.
I'm going to try that. Mm-hmm. Whether I get to that level or not,
yeah.
doesn't matter. I'm trying and I'm learning. It's a
Yeah.
growth, right?
Yeah.
And that's different
That is different. Yes.
than what
Yeah.
we
I think a
will get
lot of
on
people tend
social
to,
media, or how we usually compare ourselves.
and what most people I think tend to fall into, it's like the very negative type
They're
of
so
comparison.
good
Yeah.
and I'm not. Versus they're
it's a
really
fine
good
line.
and I'm going to strive for myself. Mm-hmm. Not so I can go, I just did better than you.
Right. And so I think there's a fine line. But I just want to say,
I like that.
comparison is generally, a negative thing. There's some things that can be okay.
There are some ways that we can. I mean, it's if we look at it as a growth, you know. I mean, you look at, I think of athletes and
That too. I mean, there's objectively someone is faster than
Yeah.
you. Well, then they're gonna go and get the ball faster. They're gonna go and get the touchdown.
Okay,
And
so
what are you gonna do about it?
What skills do you have that you're going to use?
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's like there are objective comparisons. That's why they have the NFL Combine. And, it's like,
There's
these are
yes,
comparisons.
and there are healthy ways.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
and we don't have to put ourselves down to compare ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
think that's hopefully what we're going to kind of be getting at.
Yes.
So comparisons, I mean, it starts so young.
I think so. I think they do. I think, and I hopefully, I was thinking about this from a parental viewpoint. Mm-hmm. Hopefully parents don't play into that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of parental pressure of what you have your kid in, what you don't. How are they doing in it? Come on, what team did they make? What they didn't?
Yes.
And if you're looking at that, saying, "Well, so and so made this," and there's,
Yes.
it's really hard as a parent.
I mean, it
to
starts
not jump into
as
it, too.
early as like hitting milestones before they're whatever
Yes.
stuff they've got to be hitting by certain points.
Are
and
they
stuff.
doing this? Are they?
And
Yeah.
I will say doctors are generally, at least the ones I've been to, have been good about being like, if they don't hit the milestone by this exact point, give it some time. It's not
Right.
until, let's say they're 2 years and they're not doing,
Yeah.
then we might think about it. But it's like, I think at least medical professionals are a little bit better about giving some leeway in that to help parents relieve some stress.
Right.
But it starts early.
It starts early in that, and when you think about it, the little that I've watched Charles this short time, is that, I mean, he'll be working on stuff, but when he's ready, it happens.
Yeah.
And whether
much.
it's late or
Yeah.
whether it's early.
Yeah.
And then I think about, so that's starting at 2 as a parent, you're watching that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then by middle school, we're asking them what they're going to be.
Yeah, that's true.
And by high school, you should know. Because you're going to start either college or other career. And so we start that comparison. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking within our own family and extended family about the kids who are your age and a little younger, a little older. All of them have just kind of wandered.
Oh, yeah.
And found their spot.
Yes.
And I can remember in my family, Kent knew exactly what he was going to do. And he got his master's in 4 years, had his company, and
Yeah.
Kurt, did this, did that.
Yeah.
I kind of knew what I wanted, but I wanted to make sure, so I wandered over another direction. And I'm still wandering, by the way. But, so some of us will never get, but it's that comparison. We can carry it with us if we're not careful.
Oh, yeah.
So my comparison is, are you happy?
I know. That's always your thing. That's what you always ask.
I know.
And I
Sorry.
think, it starts early too, but with people compare, but you don't know the full picture of somebody. You don't know what that child is struggling with. You don't know
Right.
what that parent is struggling. You don't know what your friend is struggling with all the time necessarily. You don't know what your coworker is going. It's like you never have unless you're literally living with a person, but like,
Yeah.
let's say society, you don't know the full story.
Yeah. And
You know?
the other thing, there's a couple things about when we're comparing ourselves to somebody in our neighborhood that has this and that, or somebody at our church or work that looks to have it all together. That's the key word. Looks to have it all together.
Yeah.
We never really know.
No.
And suppose somebody, I mean, you look at elite athletes, Olympians, you look at some of the CEOs or some of the managers in your company, who knows?
Yeah.
What are they doing to get there?
Yes.
And are you wanting to give up some? They're giving up something to get something.
Yes,
That's
there's
the
always
whole
a
key in
sacrifice.
life.
Yeah.
There's always
There's a
that.
sacrifice, yeah.
So what do I want? Do I want to give up family time for that extra, or would I rather go? You know what? It's a good spot.
Do I want to give up enjoying what I eat?
I
Or
don't
am
think.
gonna-
I don't think I would. Yeah, that's the
With
truth
the athletes,
too.
you know?
Because yeah,
They're not eating fun stuff.
No, and so it's you just have to weigh that,
Yeah.
and then go. You know, this
What's
is
for
all
me?
right. This is a good place for me.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Some people naturally strive constantly, and that's their
That's-
personality.
yeah. You look at me.
I have
know.
people in my family
Yes.
that do that.
But it's like, yeah, it's just when you don't always have it. I mean, because even my friends were not aware of my relationship until like I very much had to just directly tell them what was happening before
Yeah.
my divorce. And like they knew, you know, some stuff was going on, but did not understand the full extent.
No.
You know, and it's like, and that's to my closest friends. That's just how I am. Some
Exact-
people are more open.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
But
you
it's
just-
hard to share that too because
yeah.
because then you go, well, you've got a good marriage and mine really stunk.
Yeah, yeah. And so there's that comparison. But
Yeah.
it's just like you fully don't know. I mean, and with, you know, our family too, just
Yeah.
people with their own histories. It's like, yeah, we're family, so we know what's going on, but the rest of the world has no clue.
No.
You know? And so people will judge and stuff and it's like and compare and it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah, they may look like they're okay. Don't.
But don't compare because you don't know. And you know, we all have sufferings. We all have hurts. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
So something that looks something, you know, and it's just hard when we compare ourselves. There's a quote that says, comparisons can be the thief of joy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think like it's so social media too. I mean, obviously, again, like if we're talking about looks, you know, then social media always looks
Yeah.
cool. But I think with the comparison and stuff, if you're not careful, it's the goals just constantly move for you. You think, oh, I get this, and then content or all, you know,
There's always another step
always
to the
moving.
ladder if that's the way you're trying to move.
Yes, and so you
right?
can never be content that way.
No.
You know?
No.
And
I think that's where personal growth comes into.
yeah.
A large
yeah.
part of personal growth is looking within and reflective of who I am.
Yeah.
What are my real values? When it comes down to it,
Yeah.
what are my values? What do I hold high? What do I honor?
Right.
What do I... And then to look at that, you know, and go, oh, so these are the standards I want to live by, not those. Mm-hmm. And I know I'm content or I'm happy, or even if I'm struggling, there's this part of, you know, I can find a way to be grateful. I can find good things. And I think that's, if we can learn to be who we are, these are my values. This is my personality. This is the hair that I'm stuck with. This is the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
This is, okay. If I can begin to do that,
Yeah.
then when I'm looking at somebody else, it's not necessarily a comparison of, oh, they have and I don't,
You're right.
or I have and they don't. That's a comparison that's really dangerous too.
That is.
To go to be the one up person,
Ugh. Yeah.
and we're looking down
Ugh.
and comparing. Well, they don't.
Yeah.
I do. You know, and that's just as
Right.
dangerous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I think
because
so.
yeah.
And I think, yeah, you kind of touched on some, but like comparisons, it takes away some of like your own individuality, you know, because you keep trying to conform or to be like other, you know, other people, other things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
it's it's a difficult thing, but I mean, I think that I love that you brought in the objectivity.
Yeah.
That we don't have to, and so there's a positive part
Yes.
of comparison.
And I mean, that's kind of like...
And looking at ourselves realistically really is what we're doing.
Right.
In that.
Right. And so I think like, yeah, you kind of mentioned it's like personal growth is a way you can kind of try and overcome the temptation to compare. And I think it's a temptation. I think it's a temptation to me.
I'm experiencing that right now in my life, comparisons. Because I just thought about this. You know, I started taking Spanish.
Yes.
It's an online course. There's 4 of us there.
It's very intensive.
It's very intensive.
Yes.
And class was canceled last night, so the fact that I didn't get my homework done was pretty good.
Oh my gosh. Even in this time of your life, you still get away with not doing homework.
I do.
God.
So
you are eternally going to be the lower student.
I know. So I'm like, everybody else seems to have learned a little Spanish along the way, but I don't.
No.
And so they sound better, they do better, they learn the alphabet faster. Well, you know, the real reason they learn the alphabet is because I didn't practice. I listened to, you know, we did it in class and I didn't do any more. And so the next class we were supposed to, okay, let's say it. Oh, and we were taking turns saying letters, and I was C, no. Yeah. So I was like, so part of that's on me. Part of it is my feeling, and I've been telling the message I've been giving myself is, you really can't learn it, Kelly. Maybe you don't belong in this.
Oh yeah.
But I haven't practiced it.
Yeah.
And even if I don't learn or speak as well as they do,
you have something.
It's more than what I knew when I started.
Exactly. I mean, the reason you got into it is because you wanted to learn.
I want to be able to understand some, because the volunteer work I do often involves
people that speak Spanish.
People that speak Espanol.
Yes.
So so I'm.
So I think even that message,
but I've been doing that to
you're
myself.
Doing it
now
for
that
yourself,
we've talked about it,
know?
I realized it.
Yes.
Wow.
And I do believe, I guess this is kind of my face. Comparison is a temptation. You know, it's like it gives you the negative thoughts. Generally, it makes you down. It's like, it is not something that I don't think God would ever want you to do.
I think if I was just with that one teacher, I wouldn't have that. But I'm comparing myself to these 2 young guys and this young girl, and here I am, and I'm the one that goes, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know I was on mute." You know, I mean, I've gotten better about that.
That is so funny.
But it is that comparison.
Yes, and I think like this is something that I kind of got in therapy, is like you can put up boundaries for yourself for comparison. So like for me, I had to put up boundaries for my worrying time. Sheila was like, you can pick 15 to 20 minutes of your day and you section it off. And if something happens during your day, you think, no, I have my time later. I'm not going to worry about it right now. You put up the boundaries. So, but I think you could easily do that. Like if you start thinking about comparison and stuff, you know, because the thing is you can't fully deny your brain that sort of thing. Like you have to give an outlet, but you can put boundaries around the outlet. And then let's say after you're done with the comparison, then a big thing that literally there are studies proving that it increases happiness is a gratitude journal. And so after you do your comparison stuff, you'd be like, okay, what am I grateful for myself? What am I, what is good for me? And so usually like if I worry about stuff, then it's like, okay, I need to like look at some positive things and like, but it has been proven scientifically that a gratitude journal increases people's mental well-being and happiness.
Well, I think part of that I think is if you're journaling, you're writing it down. And even if you're not, you're going over it in your head, right? Yeah. If you set that time aside, then during the day, you're going to be more aware of when those things for gratitude pop up.
That's why it works. That's why it works.
Because then all of a sudden your awareness of, oh, look.
Because you're pointing things outward.
Yeah, I got a good parking space. Oh, look at me, Yeah. And so you're
more apt to look and find the good things in life after you start practicing that.
And I was reading this, and we'll have these marked on the links.
Notes. Yeah.
So, where did I find? I'm sorry, but one social psychology principle suggests that humans look at the world in a way that confirms what we already believe and how we view ourselves. So if I am already thinking, I have the worst luck, then when I don't find a parking place, it's because I don't have good luck.
Yes.
When something happens, it's because I don't have good luck. So if I'm already thinking the world is out to get me,
or then it's always going to be out to get you. Yes.
Then it will. But if I think, I have fun things happen, then I have fun things happen. And because I'm looking for them.
Yeah.
And when something happens, I'm not pointing the finger out there. Just like this comparison. I'm comparing myself to people that probably studied. I'm comparing, and so it's like, well, Kelly, what is your value? Oh, well, my value is watching football over studying my Spanish last night.
Yeah.
So, it's those type of things. But looking at myself realistically. But I think that is true how we view the world. If I live in fear, then everything I'm gonna walk on guard.
Mm-hmm.
If I think that there is more good, then I'm gonna find it.
Yeah.
Not that I'm gonna ignore and not the bad. Well, I don't even want to call them bad. No. Not that things that I don't like are gonna happen. Yeah. But it.
And I think it literally just came to this with thinking more positively about yourself. Mm-hmm. And you kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but it's like you're not putting anyone else down in the process to lift yourself. Because I think it is tempting to be like, what was my example that just came to my mind? It was like, I did such a good job on this, and it's like, or on a test, or it's like, and like that person didn't. Okay, I feel so much smarter now because I'm like above everybody else in my class. It's like, no, you should just feel good about yourself because you did a good job. Like you're not necessarily smarter than it. You don't know. Maybe that person didn't have. Maybe something came up in their life, and then they couldn't. Maybe not football, but something came up in their life. But it's just like you don't know what the other person is going through. And so just because somebody doesn't do well that day, like that's not a judgment on their whole life.
No, it's not. I studied my rear end off when I was in high school in my chemistry class. Yeah. And I really, truly studied. Yeah. Met with teachers after, worked at it. I got C pluses. Other people that I know didn't study got A's and B's. Yeah. And I had to stop comparing because that's what their gift is. Yeah. But you did really well in English, and you can write you can write a good essay. So it's like, it's okay. Mm-hmm. But that was it was really hard. It made me so mad. Yes. Why can't I? Well, stop, you know? Yeah. But that comparison.
Mm-hmm. And I think starting with little things will help you then stop comparing with the big things. Because I think it's so tempting frequently to be like, look at where you are in your life. Where is everybody else in their life? Oh, that looks like they're doing so much better. Oh, and I messed up here and I messed up here. And like now I'm here in my life and I'm not always happy about it. It's like, but those are so big. But if you can start with small everyday things of just little good comparisons, like, I think, I did great in that meeting today, or I was able to control my reaction really well today. Done. Okay, I have my comparison to myself of being positive, and then it can get bigger, and then you can hopefully stop comparing your whole life so much.
I feel good when I exercise. Oh, I exercised. I feel good about that today. Why did I exercise? Not for anybody else. It was for me. Yeah. And so it is, as hard as comparisons are, I think if we, again, look inward, what do I value? Yeah. What do I value? It's we not everybody values the same thing.
And it's not, and that's okay, selfish to do this either. Sounds like it could sound so selfish, but it is not selfish to do that, because the more you feel positive and good about yourself in a healthy way, then you're going to see that in others, and you're going to be a positive person.
You're going to be a positive. And that rubs off, that you just exude that. Mm-hmm. I was with somebody the other day, and they were talking about our energy, and we do. Everybody puts off energy, and it goes out beyond what we think. Yeah, 100 feet or so. It can go way out. So what you're putting out matters. Yeah, And so when you're feeling good about you and loving who you are, it's not selfish.
No.
It really is for the world.
Yeah.
We live in community. No matter what we think, we live in community.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, yeah.
Man, so hopefully you all do nice comparisons.
Yeah,
to yourself.
yeah. Think about what you're,
Treat yourself with
think
kindness.
of some positive things. Yeah. And be aware of what triggers you and then go, that's not,
Yes.
that's not where I want to go.
Awesome. Yeah. So if you guys, you can always comment on our post, Instagram, Facebook. We've got our Patreon. We'll hopefully be doing some more meditation soon.
That was a pointing at me. I know. I did one on my phone. I've got to translate it. Yeah.
No, just like as a reminder for us and everybody else.
Yes.
But yes, we are open, and we're open to any episode suggestions. Yeah, anytime that you think about them.
So we look forward to next week when you take a breath and take a listen.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of An Incomplete Guide to Personal Growth. There are many ways you can stay connected. Follow us on Instagram at An Incomplete Guide Podcast, where you can sign up for our email list and get posts that delve deeper into our weekly topics. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast page wherever you listen to your podcasts. We would really appreciate a rating and sharing us with your family and friends.
We're so glad you chose to spend your time with us and hope there was a thought, a resource, or a laugh that you can take on your journey. We'll be here every Tuesday for you to take a breath and take a listen.